Today's video we are going to be doing another 5 meals for under £25 from Aldi. So this is a new series I've started where I'm creating 5 meals that normally feed 4 people for under £25. This week I actually managed to get the total cost well under £25, which is fantastic, especially right now as the cost of living is so ridiculously high. We all want to be saving money but still eating well, so I'm helping you to save money while still eating well, creating really easy, nutritious and delicious meals. I hope you're all doing well. If you haven't already, watch episode 1 of this series because we made some really delicious meals. So subscribe if you want to watch the rest of this series. I've also linked down below my frugal eating series where I managed to clear out the food in my house, not do a big food shop for nearly 2 months, which was fantastic. It was very challenging, but also very rewarding. I really hope you enjoy this series. Let's get straight into today's episode. I've got some recipes that I need to be making today for our dinners, and yeah, let's just go. Okay, the first recipe we're doing this week is my pizza rolls or pizza tortillas. So you've got an option, you can either do pizza rolls with puff pastry. I've gone with that today because this puff pastry needed using, but the recipe is actually for tortillas. That's what I bought that week in the budget. But I'll talk you through both. So these are the pizza rolls, they're absolutely blooming delicious. Puff pastry is great for babies if you are doing baby-led weaning because it melts in the mouth and it's just really easy for them to eat. So the first thing you want to do is make your pizza sauce, which is so easy. You do not need to buy ready-made pizza sauce because it's expensive and it's so easy to make. So you grab a tin of tomatoes, put that in a saucepan and then add some Italian seasonings. I've gone for basil and oregano and some crushed garlic, and then you boil that together for a while until it simmers down. You want the sauce to like really thicken up and the watery stuff to go. Also add pepper, a tiny bit of salt because I am feeding this to my baby, and a small bit of sugar just to sweeten it. And that is a pizza sauce. It's so easy. It's also a pasta sauce. It's like an all-round sort of Italian sauce, which Italians probably would hate, but so you get that sauce on the stove and then you start making your ingredients. By the way, look at my face here. I'm watching a murder documentary on my phone while I'm cooking, and yeah, obviously whatever I was watching was very shocking. But I'm adding spinach, sweet corn and peppers into my pizza rolls this week. So wash your spinach and chop it right down just so it's like little flakes. You don't have to do that, but because I'm feeding it to a baby, it's just easier for him to eat. I'm using a green pepper. There's really no difference. You can use whatever colour pepper you'd like, and chop all of that up. The sweet corn, obviously you don't need to do anything to. So I've got my veggies ready. And then you get your puff pastry out. This is from Aldi. It's so affordable. Now, you don't have to make this into pizza rolls. You can actually just make this one sheet pan pizza. It's just as easy, just as simple. But I'm going to make mine into rolls today just because they're fun to eat. And spread on your pizza base sauce, which is now simmered down to like a very thick pizza sauce. Smells lovely. You don't actually use all of that, so I've got some left in the saucepan which I'm saving for another recipe, which I'm showing you in a bit. Cut some mozzarella into strips and add the mozzarella to your sheet. And then add all of your veggies on the top. Simple as. Now if you're making it into one sheet pan pizza, you just do an egg wash around the sides of all of those ingredients. You don't need to roll it up. It's actually easier than it looks. I mean, it takes a bit of time, but I roll it up and then just cut it into about 2 centimetre thickness, and obviously I'm showing you here, but just cut it into 2 centimetre thickness rolls and then lay them flat down. At the moment they're on their side, but you're going to lay them flat down. If we do this for dinner, I would just serve them all up with lots of salad and things like that. But because we actually have something else on for dinner tonight, I'm just going to show you this recipe, but I'm actually using this for lunch this week. But we normally have it for dinner, but these are great for the freezer, so I actually froze loads of these because they're so good for a toddler / baby. So here they are before, and then here they are after. Seriously, look at them, they're all golden. So you put them in the oven for about 20 minutes at 180 to 200 degrees. And that's all you need to do, honestly. After you've egg washed them, they go in the oven and they're so easy. Here's Oren enjoying his. He really loves them. They're so easy to hold, to eat. He likes the veggies in them. Yeah, they're just great. You can experiment with different toppings as well. It's completely up to you. Okay, next up, this dinner recipe is our pasta. This is honestly one of the easiest pasta dishes you can make, and it's one of the most satisfying. So it's so luxurious and delicious. So this one's a great one to make the following night after pizza rolls, because you can use the leftover pizza sauce in the pasta sauce. So first thing you're going to do is chop up your red onion or white onion, whatever you want. Wash a load of spinach, like lots of spinach, half of a large bag at least. And then fry the onion in the saucepan with some oregano, some basil or Italian seasonings, and fry that up with some olive oil for a while. I tend to mainly cook with olive oil or coconut oil at the moment. I just prefer those two. Chop up some garlic. Did you know that garlic tastes different depending on how you serve it? So if you notice, I crushed the garlic for the pizza rolls because I wanted a more subtle garlic flavour. But when you chop it, it's a more bitter garlic flavour. Did you know that? Interesting fact of the day. But yeah, fry that all up till it's really nice and soft and it's absorbed all the flavourings. And then you want to throw in all of your washed spinach. And as you can see, that was a lot of spinach and it's now whittled down to what looks like nothing. And then throw another tin of tomatoes inside here. I have actually been making these recipes for up to 4 people because that's what they serve. So hence why there's quite a lot going in there. Throw in your leftover pasta sauce, mix that all together with the spinach, and then start cooking your pasta. This is honestly the quickest thing ever. Drizzle some olive oil over the pasta, and yeah, I'm pretty sure it makes it taste nicer. So stir the pasta in with the tomato and spinach sauce because you want that to all cook together for a while. And you can actually just serve it like this. You can add some mushrooms if you like, and you can add some grated cheese. We add a bit of double cream because we want to make it extra luxurious. So here I am adding about a third or a quarter of a pot of double cream from Aldi, and look how creamy it goes. It's so delicious. And then I'm going to add loads of parmesan, but mix in all the cheese and the cream right at the end just so nothing curdles because there's quite a lot of citrus in the tomatoes. And then you are ready to serve. Honestly, the easiest dinner ever. I personally add loads and loads and loads of pepper to this. You only need a little bit of salt because the cheese is quite salty. And then I just put leftover mozzarella that we didn't use for the pizza on top of the pasta, and it melts in. It's really nice. But yeah, I do add lots and lots and lots of pepper because you can't go wrong with pepper. And here we are. Look how, honestly, this is such like a have friends over and make this pasta dish because it is such an easy, simple dish to make, yet tastes like something you would want to order in a very nice restaurant. Next up, we're doing Tuscan chicken, my easy Tuscan chicken. It's absolutely delicious, highly recommend it. So first thing, you're going to get some chicken breasts out. I actually use 3, this is going to serve 4 adults. I use 3 chicken breasts and lather them in olive oil. I do actually add more olive oil as I go along. And then I just add lots and lots of oregano and some garlic powder. You can add fresh garlic if you want. I'm just doing that for ease. Lots of salt and pepper. Once the chicken is thoroughly seasoned, I'm going to cook it in a frying pan on both sides for about 8 to 9 minutes. Now, I have to say, I never time my chicken because I actually just constantly measure the temperature with our meat thermometer, which I can't recommend enough. I'm going to link down below. It is probably the most helpful tool in my kitchen. Honestly, you cook meat, if you ever do cook meat, to perfection. You don't overcook it, you don't undercook it, and yeah, it tells you on the side, it's really easy, it tells you on the side what temperature everything needs to be, like what temperature chicken should be and what minimum temperature beef should be to be safe. Here we are measuring it. It needs to be at least 79. In the middle, so you just poke it in to the middle, not all the way to the bottom, and once it's of temperature, take your chicken out of the pan. You are going to be putting it back later. Oh, here I am measuring again. Obviously it wasn't done before. Okay, so now it's done. I'm taking it out of the pan, and then you want to throw in whole tomatoes. So you can use cherry tomatoes. I think these are plum tomatoes, small plum tomatoes. They were on the Aldi special 6 this week, so those are the tomatoes I got. Wash them and throw them in whole with an extra bit of olive oil. Now, when you notice that the skins have started bursting from the heat temperature, I think I'm going to show you here. It's quite hard to show you because of all the smoke. But when the skin has started bursting, that is when you're ready to do the rest of the sauce. So throw in your washed spinach. As you can see, it looks like a lot of spinach, but then it whittles down to nothing. If you don't want to add spinach, you can replace that for peas and just stir in the peas at the end of the cooking process. And then you want to add a really good glug of balsamic vinegar. It doesn't look like I've added a lot here because I add it bit by bit throughout the cooking process, but it ends up being like a really big glug of cooking of balsamic vinegar. Once that's stirred in for a little while, you want to add about half a pot of double cream. You can swap this double cream out for single cream or for some vegan yogurt. Then you can add all of your grated parmesan and give that a really good stir, and the sauce becomes absolutely delicious with all of those seasonings as well. It's so nice. The key is a lot of balsamic vinegar, cheese and black pepper, and honestly it's so good. So once you've done that, you can stir your chicken back in the sauce for a little while just to make sure it's warmed through and it takes in a little bit of that sauce. Would recommend actually making this dish with chicken thighs, because chicken thighs do have better flavour and they are cheaper for your money, but my Aldi didn't have them this week, so we've gone for breast. Stir in the pasta in the sauce pan and let that cook for a little while. I like the pasta to be a little bit al dente, as Lawrence says, so with bite. I don't like pasta to be too soft, so let it cook for a little bit in the sauce, so obviously it's quite hot. And then that's it. Again, a very quick, easy dinner that I think is perfect for serving up to friends and family, because look how gourmet that looks. Honestly, look how gourmet that looks. Oren absolutely loves it. We love it. And it's an easy midweek dinner. Next recipe is one that is very, very, very easy. Very delicious. So this dinner recipe is my mushroom risotto, and you can swap out the mushrooms or keep the mushrooms in and add some salmon if you want, or maybe even some bacon, but I just like making it as a mushroom risotto. It can be easily veganized if you take out the cheeses and swap them for vegan cheese, things like that. So you want to grab some mushrooms. Chestnut mushrooms are best for this in my opinion. We've gone for these huge mushrooms that actually look a bit airy, if I'm being honest. Like, look at that inside, looks a bit airy. But these were on the super special 6 Aldi, so they were a bit cheaper this week, so I just went for them. So I'm going to slice these up. We also had some dried mushrooms sitting in my cupboard. They were absolutely delicious, and I decided to use some of these for the dish. They have a lot of flavour in them, but they're obviously completely optional. Make up your stock. I use vegetable stock for this, and get some risotto. Now my Aldi doesn't sell risotto, so I had to buy this risotto from Lidl. I've included the price though, it's just not on the receipt that's going to be posted on Instagram, but yeah, I had to buy risotto from Lidl this week. Now the wine is completely optional, but after you've fried your onions and mushrooms together for a while and your garlic, put in your risotto rice and you want to pour in a large glass of wine and let the alcohol simmer off of that wine, and for the risotto to take in that flavour. Now here I am adding my chopped dried mushrooms, which I've rehydrated, into my stock, just because it gives it all that extra flavour. Let that sit for a little while, and then slowly but surely I'll add that stock into the risotto. Let the risotto rice just slowly soak in all of the moisture. You'll notice it starts cooking quite quickly, so you want to keep stirring it and letting it slowly take in the moisture, just so it becomes nice and creamy but not stodgy. So here it is about midway through. I'm still stirring, there's still a bit of moisture in there, and I'm going to keep adding my stock, and I've added all the rest of the rehydrated mushrooms as well. And yeah, it becomes really creamy and really delicious. It's such a rich flavour. If you don't want to add a veggie stock, you can add an umami stock cube if you've got one of those. That also makes it extra savoury flavoured, and it's really good. Grate up your cheese. You want a very large handful of cheese to go into this. Lawrence actually put the rind of this cheese into the dish just for flavour, which we took out before serving. But yeah, the cheese makes it just very creamy, very delicious. You can add peas to this dish as well. I was meant to add peas, but I totally forgot. But yeah, there's the cheese rind. So that's going to come out before serving. A little taste test with your toddler's spoon, and yeah, I think it's passed the taste test. I haven't added any salt to this dish because the cheese is very salty itself, and my son is going to be having some of this as well, so I do actually add salt afterwards if we ever fancy a bit more salt. But yeah, it's such a gorgeous dinner. I know it doesn't look the best because it's very grey, but it is absolutely luxurious, creamy, delicious. It just feels like restaurant quality. Okay, next up we're making Cajun chicken pasta. I managed to get some thigh fillets from Aldi, which was great. So you need your thigh fillets, your basil, pepper, Cajun seasoning, garlic and smoked paprika, onion, pepper and spinach. So again, if you notice, like a lot of the recipes in this video, we're using some of the same ingredients. One of the best ways to save money on food and also to stop food waste is to meal plan for meals that can use some of the same fresh ingredients that week. So when you buy a bag of peppers, you've got at least 2 meals that are going to use that peppers, because it's not often you use all peppers in one dish. But I just make sure I have like a couple of dishes that week that will incorporate either the chicken that I've bought or the peppers that I've bought. Anyway, so chop up your onion, chop up your pepper, put that in a frying pan and add all of your seasoning. I add quite a lot of paprika and garlic to this because that gives it that Cajun flavour. To be honest, you don't have to use smoked paprika, it can be hot paprika. Then I add a big knob of butter. I've added all my garlic and just let that stir for a while until everything is very soft. And then you want to dice your chicken up completely and add that into the mixture and start cooking all of the chicken with the cooked peppers and onion, and then wash all of your spinach. Again, yeah, I'm using loads of spinach this week in these dinners. I actually love adding spinach to things. I really do. But yeah, like cooking with a toddler is so difficult because you constantly got your eyes at the back of your head. So throw your spinach into the dish nearish the end, and then you want to add some veggie stock or chicken stock. I went for chicken stock this week because it was the low salt variety I had. Grate some parmesan into the dish and then slowly add some stock and give it a real good stir. And I also added a big lump of cream cheese just to make it a bit creamy. I do add lots and lots of black pepper to this as well. And then once that sauce has all come together, it's really smoky and delicious, and yeah, it's just such a great delicious sauce. The chicken's all cooked, then you want to stir in your pasta. This is such a great tip for making the pasta dish. The pasta tastes absolutely delicious, is to stir the pasta and let it cook for a tiny bit in the sauce. But once it's properly mixed, you want to serve it up. And here you go, it's a delicious chicken pasta dish, which I highly recommend. And it's one we absolutely love, and it's very easy to cook and a really good summer dish actually. That's the end of today's 5 meals for under £25 from Aldi. I really hope you enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on the next one, and we'll see you again really, really soon. Bye!